Hi, this is Dawn Olszewski of DOstampingWithDawn.com, and I'm here with another How'd She Do That? And today I'm going to share with you how I did this card. It's called a Twisted Easel card. So I'm just going to open it up for you. So instead of opening up like this, it's actually, you're going to pull it from this corner up here and you'll pull it open, and as it opens it twists and it'll land here to be an easel card. So there's the twist in the back. Now this is surprisingly easy to do, but before we get started on that, I'm going to share some of the products with you. All right, so first things first, we're going to be using the Daffodil Daydream bundle. Now that comes with both the stamp set and the dies, which are called daffodil dies. And I've laid this one out because this is the one die that I'm going to use, as well as, look at all the dies here. I know you can make all kinds of different flowers, but I also made the butterfly with 3 pieces here. This is the solid piece. Right here is a detailed piece, and then here's the center of the body. So you can make all kinds of things. This piece here is this die, and then this piece here is this die. So we're going to use that. And now that is from our mini catalog, January through June 2022. And this is just chock full of stuff. Now it is part, oh no, it's not part of a suite. So what I do when it's not part of a suite, I look in the back and the stamp sets are listed alphabetically. So this is Daffodil Daydream, and we're going to go to page 37. And there we go. So here's what we have. There is all kinds of samples here, and I love them all. I love the layering. See all the layering going on here with the, well, my cat is joining us today, so if you see a tail swish back and forth or you hear a little meow, that's Abby. She's joining us. But this is so cute, and even though this is for Mother's Day and Easter blessings, you can coordinate this with a lot of other different sentiment stamp sets, and there's one in particular that I'll be showing you in a minute here. Well, this little girl, we're gonna have to put her down here. She thinks she's part of the show. That's okay. All right, moving on, we're also going to be using designer series paper, celebration free paper. So we only got less than 2 weeks left on this. And this is called Daffodil Afternoon. It is gorgeous paper. And of course, it matches perfectly, I should say coordinates perfectly with the Daffodil Daydream bundle. So this is on page 4 and 5. So when I go through my catalog, I like to circle like layouts or interesting ways that they might have used the paper, or maybe I'm looking for a color combination. So I like to circle some of my favorites. So there's the free paper, and here's some samples. All right, I'm going to set that aside for a minute and show you the beautiful designer series paper. So as normal, we typically have on the top is usually, or what I call the front side, is usually lots of more patterny type of things. So these are daffodils and flowers and daisies, all kinds of things. And then the back side is more of a kind of a subtle pattern. And here we go. This is beautiful. This is one of those where this stretches across the paper, and then on the other top side of it is the same pattern flipped upside down, and you can cut your paper in half and then cut it into smaller pieces and use it on lots of different cards. It's very cool. And there's the back side. This has hearts on it if you can't see that too closely. This is probably my favorite pattern. And there's the back side. And there. I even just like the black and white. And actually it's vanilla. The vanilla is the neutral on this particular designer series paper. So you should probably stock up on this because after February 28th, it's not going to be available anymore. And like I said, you can get it free with a $50 order. All right. So next, I have another product that we're going to be using that's a celebration product. And it happens to be one of my favorites. So that paper is one of my favorites. This is like what I think is a must-have. It's called Special Moments. It's got sentiments for all different occasions. So we've got happy birthday, congratulations, sympathy, hang in there, good luck, thinking of you, all kinds of different things. My favorite is where would I be without a friend like you? And actually that's what I use today. So this Special Moments is towards the back of the celebration catalog. It's on page 14. And like I said, it's called Special Moments. There's 21 stamp sets in here. Now this one is free with a $100 purchase. So again, after February 28th, these will no longer be available either as free products or something to purchase. You won't be able to purchase them either. So, all right. All right. What else are we using today? So, bear with me here. I'm going to scooch this out of the way. We're going to be using another set of dies. It's called the Scallop Contour dies. This is a favorite die of mine. It's very popular and it was new out of the catalog this past year. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scallop rectangle shapes in there. These two shapes are floral shapes that match color and contour stamp set, and here's just a border shape. So this is the size that we're using for the card, and that is for right here. So let's move on to the card. We're gonna I'm gonna pull out all the supplies so you can see them. And I'm just gonna put a few things away so we have a little room. There we go. I've got some Stampin' room. Okay, now this happens to be a club card. So what I mean by a club card is that I have a virtual club. It's an online club. I have a private page on my blog, and then I post photos and videos and such there. And we do 3 cards a month, and I demonstrate them this way. And they do a $25 order or more 6 months out of the year. And one of those 6 months, they reap the host benefits. Woohoo! And so they could be anywhere from a minimum of $15 upwards to whatever the amount of club members totals are. So I think I have one, we're still in the February club month. That doesn't end for a few more days. And I think I already have someone up to like almost $50. So that's pretty cool. You never know where it's going to land. And you'll get your packets. They'll be in envelopes. So this particular one is in a vanilla envelope. And here are all the pieces. So I'm using this pale papaya and white woven ribbon. This is from the annual catalog. It's just beautiful. And then here's that die cut that I've pre-cut. Here's a scrap piece. I'll just set that here for now. And then our designer series paper. The designer series paper measures, let's just do that real quick. It is 2 by 5, I'm pretty sure. 5 1/4. 2 by 5 1/4. You get 2 panels that are 4 and 5 1/4. Okay. All right. And these are the little pieces that I talked about with the butterfly. And I also pre-punched some oval shapes for you. I don't know if you can see that very well. There's a glare, but here's the back side here. So these two shapes are already cut for you. And as you can see, there's a tiny little accent of let's see, these are brass butterflies. There we go. All right. Now let's talk about how to kind of assemble all of this stuff. First things first is you want to put your base together. Now I do typically pre-score these. So long as the scoring parts fit in an envelope, I will pre-score them. And so, but I want to talk to you a little bit about how this one is scored to get our twist. Excuse me. So you're going to start out with 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And then you'll score it. So our first score is right in half at 5 1/2 inches. So if you have this kind of trimmer, this is our paper trimmer. The light, I always talk about the blades being the light is our scoring blade for a light touch, and the dark is our cutting blade. So that's how I keep them separate. So you go ahead and score that. And then what you want to do is you want to, I like to flip it at this point. So from the inside, I want to line up my tip of the corner here to where the score line is from our 5 1/2 inch mark. And so long as you keep those all lined up on the groove, then you go ahead and do a score for that. And that's how we get a diagonal. You can see it better here. All right. Excuse me. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and actually add my panel to the inside. One of these vanilla panels. Okay. Oh, sorry. My eyes are a little off tonight. There we go. Then what we want to do here is you can see how this folds. Okay, so this is the inside of it, and it's going to fold inwards like this. So when we open it like this, this will fold up. All right, like that. There we go. Excuse me. Okay, so for now, we're just going to set all this aside since we have kind of our scoring and our folding done. And we're going to work on our panel. That is going to be the front of our card. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put the designer series paper and just attach that to the bottom of this panel. Okay. Then we're going to add this ribbon right here. And because I don't want the gap about for going around the back, I am just going to add a whole strip of adhesive. Add the ribbon like this. And then we're just going to cut the ends off. Use that and this side. Okay, so that panel is ready to go for now, so I'm going to set that aside. All right, so next we're going to do a little stamping on these two pieces here. And if you look closely on this die cut, you're going to see that there's some stitching here on the die cut, and I want to preserve that. I don't want my stamp image to go over that. So I'm going to use 3 Post-it notes to just come up to that line I only need 3 because I'm only going, I'm keeping my stamping to this edge of the piece. All right, and then for our last one here, there we go. Okay, now I like to, this is a big image. It's going to go beyond this, which is why we're masking as well. And this is the image that we're using. And I want to make sure that these 3 flowers are going to end up. And for me, it's easier to hold this particular block this way. All right. So that's why I'm stamping kind of on the side, if you want to call it. Inked up nice and good. This is our tuxedo black memento ink. Yeah, this just feels easier on my hands. I suffer from a little bit of arthritis. And if I can figure out ways to hold my stamps, the blocks, a little easier, it just helps me a little bit. A little tip for you. Stamping on this way is just fine. All right. And there we go. So I'm going to pull these off. Yes, I love the look that it stops there. It's like a frame. There we go. Okay. Now, as long as we have, I'm going to set that aside for just a minute. As long as we have this out, I'm going to ink it up again. And this is kind of the optional part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it again. Okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up coloring it. I haven't colored this one that I'm going to show you, but I'm going to take it to the Stampin' and Cut Emboss machine, and I'm going to die cut it. Okay, now we're not going to use all these pieces. I only want to get these 2, but cutting it first like this is easier than fussy cutting all the flowers out. So at least I get like about half or even maybe 2/3 of the flower ready to go. All right. So I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to do one more thing. We're going to do our greeting, that one that I shared with you. Oops, grabbed the wrong stamp set. The friend one, because it's my favorite. Where would I be without a friend like you? You know, lots of people I can send this to. You know what? I'm going to make sure that this is all inked up really good. Sometimes when I first use stamps, I got to do what I call priming. Get the ink on there, do a stamp, and don't clean it and then ink it up again. Yeah. I like to do that to make sure that I'm going to get a nice image when I go ahead and stamp it on my project. I'll let it rest there for a bit. And that is beautiful. All right, we'll set this aside. We are done with our stamping, so we're going to do a little coloring. The colors that I'm using is Pear Pizzazz, Pale Papaya, and Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to start with the Pear Pizzazz. What I'm going to do is I'm going to squish really, really, really hard the lid and the bottom together. And what's going to happen is that you'll have ink pool up here. And I'm going to just use, I like to keep my, if I'm using Wink Estella to color. I love doing that, but I like to keep my, keep it all in one kind of corner, if you want to call it. So that it doesn't get, ruin my pad. So, ooh, I love coloring with Wink Estella. It's so much fun. So I'm going to go in and just color the leaves. So the beauty of this is that it's adding glitter, a glitter sheen to my images. while I color them. So that's kind of cool. All right, do this. And here, a couple more. Here and here. Okay. Now, I just want to point out before I go on here is that for my card here, I added a little dimension, like what I said about die cutting this, and then what we end up doing is just fussy cut these two out. So you would want to color this and color any stems that, like this one in particular, you'd want to color. All right. But that's optional. I gave you materials to do that. You don't have to if you don't have this product, or maybe you have another flower set and you can use your, if you have dies to go with it, you can do the same thing and pop these up. All right. But for now, we're just going to keep coloring. All right. I'm going to pull off the green since I'm done. Ooh, I missed a spot. I always seem to miss a spot when I'm doing leaves and stems. How about you? There, that's better. Maybe just add a little bit here. Okay, pull that off. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with, I'm going to do the daffodils, and we're going to use a lighter color and then a little bit darker of a color. So for me, I like to start with my lighter colors. So I'm going to go ahead and squish this. One more time. One more time. There, that should do it. There we go. And this I can do kind of an all over color. I don't even have to worry about kind of where it's going, because this is going to be my light, what I call an undercoat, if you want to call it. So I can be quick. Quick as a bunny, right? Is that what their saying is? And then we're going to add some detail with the Flirty Flamingo. So this is shaping up nice. Oop, there you go. All right. Pull that color off. And then we'll go with the Flirty Flamingo. Ooh, that one pooled up nicely. Okay, so sometimes, when I look at this, there's it seems a lot darker, and it probably is. Yeah. So what I want to do is take some and then maybe pull some off on my grid paper here, and then wherever there's like a line, I can add some color. It's kind of the image is already kind of showing me where the shadow is, if you want to call it. Ooh, I just love the way this looks. So you can see this is really quick, and you'll look like an artist. Your friends will go, oh my gosh, you are an artist. Oh, I forgot one more flower. And I have to say, before I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and even when I first started, for many years, so I've been doing this for 18 years now, but for many years I was not confident in my coloring. But products like the Wink Estella, our Stampin' Blends, oh man, they just make it so much easier for me to color and look like I know what I'm doing, right? So we all got to start somewhere. So there is our focal point. So I'm going to go ahead and add this with some dimensionals. I love dimensionals. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll look at this and I'll go, does it need, no, this one doesn't need any in the middle. I think it's pretty good. So we're going to pull these off. And put it here. Okay. Then, I think I forgot to show you one more panel. So there's another panel that you'll need as well, and this measures, it's a full, like front of a card, if you want to call it. This is 4¼ inch by 5½ inch. So we're going to add that to this. Okay. And we are getting close here. We're almost done. Let me slide some things out of the way and show you how to put this together. So the key that you want to remember is that you're going to add the adhesive on what I call the bottom side. So our bottom side, it happens to be the right side of this, and I'm going to add my adhesive there. So don't be bashful about putting lots of adhesive on. I'm going to add a little bit more, get a little more in this corner. Okay, because that is the only place that you're going to add it. So we're going to put bottom to bottom. And this should line up perfectly with the front of your card. Yep. Voila. So actually, I'm going to open it like this and give it a good pressing. Okay. And there, I mean, how easy is the twist? And so when you open it, it's going to fold itself on that line. So you can go ahead and give it a little burnishing if you want to help it go for the first time. But oh my gosh, it's so cute. So let's just finish up this cute little interior piece that actually will help your easel card stay in place. So we'll put these oval pieces together. There we go. Then we will put these together. I think we'll use some glue dots for that. Nope, wrong side. So they've changed the way they've done these glue dots. They're like on the inside now of the paper. And that goes here. So I'm using Pale Papaya for the large one, and the smaller one is Flirty Flamingo. And then we have the little black here. So tips for that. I'm going to use my multi-liquid glue. Now, the problem I personally have with it is that I have a heavy hand when I squeeze things. So I just like to find a little piece of scratch paper. Really anything. I'm going to use this little leftover ribbon. And I'm going to just put a little dab of glue on here. Then I'm going to use my pick tool. Actually, I want it this way. And we're just going to add it to the lower part. So all I have to do is touch some glue on there. Yay! See? And we'll add it to that. So there's my tip of the day for that. Just going to hold it in place for a minute. Well, not a minute. You only need a few seconds and let it dry. We'll set that aside for a second. Get rid of this, otherwise I'll glue it to something. And dimensionals. So I do want to pop this up. I don't need this popped up. But here, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this up first. All right. So I think if the card goes like that, yeah, that's good. And then a glue dot. Maybe I'll even do two. One for either side of the wing. And the other one. so cute. Put our butterfly here. You can even pull up some of his wings to give it a cute little fluff. I call it when I do this. I fluff everything up. And then the last little adorable embellishment is those brass butterflies. So you get two sizes of these. This is the larger of the two. I'm just using my pick tool to grab it. And then you can decide wherever you want to put it. I like to put it here, so I think it's cute there. And voila! I hope you guys enjoyed that. I sure had fun making it. If you are looking for a demonstrator, I'd be happy to send you some catalogs. And if you would shop with me at my store, I'll put the link in the description below. If you want any information about being a club member, I think I have like 3 spots left. So you could contact me. You can still get in on it. And actually, you can join any time of the year. So just contact me about that and we'll go from there. All right? So thank you so much for joining me, and you guys have a great day.